Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Assassin's Creed Black Flag Freedom Cry DLC on the Mysterious JG. Don't know how many more videos we've got left because we're entering into the final story mission now, I'm pretty sure. And this is probably going to mark the end of my YouTube Assassin's Creed career because while I enjoyed this game, there's so many other games to play. This wasn't a series that I had a ton of people following ever, not even by my standards, and it was a long series if you count the main game as well. I enjoyed it though, but I have a sense that there's nothing really calling me to try out any of the Assassin's Creed games. I just kind of vaguely floated the idea of Rogue because I guess it has a multiplayer element, and you know didn't pitch that to a lot of people. The handful of people I did pitch it to didn't really have any interest and. I think that game's old now anyway. Oddly, my brother-in-law, whom I don't talk about on this channel much, one of the few video games he's expressed interest in was one of the Assassin's Creed set during the Revolutionary War period. But they can be really fun if you get into the story and pay more attention than I tend to lose this thread of the story over time. But gameplay-wise, I got some love-hate relationship with some of the gameplay mechanics. But let's go because there's a lot of stuff to make you look cool, but it's just kind of goofy in how it works. Let's take out Defayette. This may not be the last mission, but it kind of feels like it should be.
I believe it is time. The governor grows complacent.
Governor.
They have already forgotten the terror they wrought. I will remind them.
Once you have removed the fire, you will no longer be safe here.
Nor will the Maroons be if I stay.
And you won't be none of you are safe here, really.
It will bring me sadness to see you go.
We will meet again to celebrate Maroon independence.
When I assassinate you. Because I'm an assassin. It's my creed.
You know well the grounds of the governor's residence. Choose your moment. Not get caught.
Thanks for the advice. I'll bear that in mind. Oh, and thanks for actually spawning as the last mission instead of just randomly pushing me every so often like you did before. Yeah, to liberate slaves, some may join you as recruited Maroons. Oh, is that a gameplay mechanic I should be aware of now as I start the last mission? Which you can't even get unless you've liberated like 100 fucking Maroons. Thanks, game. One thing that was kind of interesting that happened off screen is when I went into the... This doesn't feel like it's going to be that bad, actually. Famous last words. I went into the harbor master / maroon shop on board my ship, and since it's its own little enclosed space in the universe, and for whatever reason it wasn't loading properly, so I was walking around talking to those guys with a few random elements of the room having populated, but otherwise we were all in the Abstergo synchronization void. And in particular, because this game, mercifully, the DLC has nothing. It's just a story from this universe. It doesn't have any Abstergo Enterprises present day weirdo side, like which I found really kind of fun in the original Assassin's Creed, but it's long since overstayed its welcome in my opinion. But where it was like Dr. Evil and the girl who kind of seems to be nice to you, and then it turns out she's secretly an assassin. Oh my god! I mean, I remember thinking how lame that was. But how did they let this assassin girl enter the one lab that they were going to use to completely take over the world, and they the one person other than the doctor that they had to do some kind of background check on, and they didn't catch that she was an assassin. Anyway. But yeah, we didn't have any of that nonsense. They kept it fairly limited in Kenway's story, which I think was wise. Because again, it was interesting in the original game, but then at the end it was like this kind of goofy ass, like every conspiracy theory combined was like showing up on the walls at Abstergo headquarters. Oh. The ghost ship is probably referring to my ship. Yeah, I guess we gotta kill him. Berserk Dart seems like the way. That,
Personally find and kill every last one of you until I find my answer. Where is the hideout of the Maroons?
kill him with the branding iron, kill 5 guards of the blunderbuss. Oh, I see. So it doesn't look like they're really going... So I guess I should try to kill him with the branding iron. That actually seems like it would be a pretty cool thing to pull off if I can. But I'm not really that worried about it, to tell you the truth. Oh, I did the sleep arrows by mistake? Oh, well. You know, you can't just wake him up and say that's enough. You gotta do more than that. Oh, well. Okay, so I guess I messed... Yeah. So I do have to... Well, the fact that he killed that guy made me think, oh, maybe there's a time component I'm supposed to rush. And I ran out and got spotted by a guy who was berserk, so I didn't think that would matter, because he's, like, not going to... I didn't think he would... I did not think he would go on to... Where did he flee to? That he was... Oh, they're probably the 5 guards I was supposed to kill with the blunderbuss, too, actually. Now that I think about it. So now they are... People heard that. They are concerned. Have they not alerted him yet? Because I feel like I messed this up. For one thing, I need to switch to a sword if I'm going to engage them right now. Well, I killed enough with the sword anyway. Oh, don't give me a break. I'm not doing that right now, game. Come on. Give me a second to switch my weapons. Because it's really hard to be fighting guys in close range with the blunderbuss. Just a little bit tricky. Yeah. Okay, it doesn't seem like this is going to take that long. It's not like a lengthy involved mission with multiple parts. If I just have to find a way to get to that guy without attracting attention. Might take me a few times if I'm not confident, but... See, this is the problem now. I need to... Okay, so that... Fine. Oh. He's running by me in his attempt to escape. I should be chasing him. I can win the game, but I won't get to kill him with his own thingy-jigger. Yeah, I don't understand why I'm the super assassin, and yet all these people are faster than I am. Super assassin, pro wrestler, known for his incredible speed, obviously. It seems super obvious that you can get most of your blunderbuss kills. That is your special objective. right here.
It's him!
Damn it. Now I can't see, and now my battery level's low. This is not coming out correctly.
Do not let him near Gouverneur de Fayette!
I mean, I guess I could get... Those guys don't move. I could get the guys that are standing around close to Gouverneur de Lafayette. Or de Fayette. What the... What? Okay, game got a little confused there. Yeah, see, I was able to jump at just the right time to... There's something weird going on here. I don't even get to target Lafayette. Otherwise, I would have won by now. Okay. Finding a lot of ways to fail, so I guess what I need to do is get rid of the guards who keep searching for me, then kill those guys up front with a big old blast. I don't know how I would go about killing him with his own branding iron. I guess I would have to knock him out, pick it up, and kill him with it, which seems like it would be a pretty big pain in the ass. I'm gonna do exactly what I said I wasn't gonna do, which is kill these guys, and then I'm gonna try to back out before I get spotted to a different location. Because it was a different are they gonna take up a spot here? Damn it. Seems to be working, actually. Oh, but here they come from this side. I didn't see them there. Maybe I'm not close enough to have attracted De Fayette's attention yet. That would be nice. But they are... Oh, he is fleeing, is he? Or no, he's not fleeing. I just can't get further away from him. He's got an awful lot of guards around him. As one might expect, he's the governor. And he's dealing with some stuff right now. Slave revolts, that kind of thing. Ah, damn it. They were a little more thorough. I was hoping they wouldn't be quite so thorough. Thorough, yet not that gentle. Man, why did it have to turn red right then? I thought I finally had it. Berserk darts to distract some of them. Wish I could see a little better. Okay, limited berserk darts, so let's not waste any more. So we have killed 5 guards of the blunderbuss. They want me to kill them with a branding iron. I think it might be more fun to berserk them. Who is that texting me? That's my little brother. I will get back with him in a moment. So I've done kind of a lot of work to blow it now. I don't have a particularly strong idea of just how it would affect things if I were to like, I don't know what would happen if I were suddenly to oh. How do they know? I don't know how they knew, but they hadn't spotted me. Okay, so apparently Berserk Dart's not going to be a thing that's going to work here, which makes some sense. Come on, I need to get just a little closer so I can get off a shot. Yeah, damn you! I should have jumped a little earlier than I tried to. Bring him to just ice. Damn it! I need allies in this battle. Okay. Now I just got to stay alive because he's gonna die, even if they won't attack him. He's been berserked. Even if they don't attack him and it just wears off, I just need to stay alive and not get so far away from them that I lose the mission automatically. Well, how do I climb up here then? You let me... Okay. So him going berserk was enough. That was a very weird and sloppy way to win, but it worked. He's having this like vision in his insanity, but in fact he died from insanity brought about by berserk stuff.
Your slaves? The overseers who follow your orders?
Well, yeah, they actually tried to.
What kind of man does not fight for himself? Why?
Kind of a dumb question.
Men on principle, but never have I wanted one to suffer as much as you.
Well, he's
To understand what it
all
is to
berserk
die
now.
and beg for your life, like the innocents you drowned. You mean those slaves?
It's your fault you only rescued 3 of them.
Sheep? But they're not even human. Without the discipline and guidance of their masters, they turn to rebellion. Murder. Like you.
All lives matter, Adewale. Here we go. So I got the blunderbuss one. I didn't kill him with his branding iron. That would have involved... I guess I could have tried a sleep dart. Sleep darts probably would have been a smarter way to do this if I really wanted to get that. But no, anything... Like, I don't understand what you're... He's completely surrounded by guards. I don't know how you get in and kill him with a branding iron. But making him go berserk, that was always my favorite trick in this particular Assassin's Creed game anyway, so... So now we must leave for the safety of the Maroons because somehow there will be no reprisals against them if we're gone. I don't get it. How would they even know we left?
It is done. He suffered badly. I made sure of it.
Have you come to say goodbye?
For now.
No, I came to take your hat.
But not without giving you this.
And he unzips his pants. Sorry.
Oh.
After all this time, you lost interest.
I don't even remember what this was, actually.
Not worried it will fall into Templar's hands.
I fear worse things now. No Templar plot than equal your wrath.
That's not funny.
Try
Slaps
to
him.
make light at a time like this.
Without light, there is only darkness. Yeah, well, there he goes. He's going the same direction.
You will return to your brotherhood of assassins, and whatever duty they assign you.
No, I'm a free assassin now.
Return, yes. But I feel a tide changing within me. I'm no longer young. I must devote my energy to those who struggle for freedom.
Sure.
I will use my conviction and my creed to defend them alongside anyone who will help me.
So not Kenway.
I have no one left to serve this to. I will keep it for memory.
Or you could give it back to me. No, I'm too cool to be leaving with the chick. I'm going to walk away in slow motion from an explosion. So yeah, the tiny bits of Yasuke we see in Neo 2 I liked, but Adewale, yeah, in fairness, he's got a little bit more involved a character. Anyway, don't feel right skipping through the credits, even though they're always 100 billion hours long. So let me read this text. Anyway, so there you go. That's going to be it for me in Assassin's Creed. I think. Not a promise. If anybody really wants to see more Assassin's Creed, they can let me know. Vaguely planning to get a PS5 whenever you can get one without killing anybody. But, you know, I got a lot of PS4 games I've still been meaning to play. And I'm getting more into retro stuff, too. This Trials of Mana really hits the spot as far as being like a modern game and a retro game at the same time. Anyway. So yeah, this was kind of an interesting DLC. As a standalone game, it obviously would have been too short. But the story didn't really meander, like is sometimes a problem with the Assassin's Creed stories. And from a purely gameplay perspective, if you don't care about the characters and story, this had all the gameplay elements that Assassin's Creed Black Flag had, just on a, kind of a smaller scale. So, there's really two ways to look at it from a should you get this DLC standpoint. Well, first of all, why would you be buying a DLC for this game? There's been like 2 or 3 Assassin's Creed games have come out since this came out. But I guess there's really only 2 main reasons you'd want to buy DLC, story DLC. It's if it introduces new game elements that would be interesting and comes with game elements that you can bring back into the main game. Like occasionally happens with the Mass Effect DLCs, which is usually new WAP. It's nothing really big. But or if it just really adds a story that you're interested in seeing. And for this one, I think it would have to be down to the story. Like if the idea of going around and like beating up slavers and killing a bunch of dirty racist assholes to make the world a better place appeals, then it's a fairly short, contained story that gives you the chance to do that. I almost wish you could buy this for discount, like $20 or something, and not have to buy the original Assassin's Creed at full price. It's kind of like, in that way, this is almost like Assassin's Creed Black Flag Ground Zero. It's just like a little short, self-contained area, a world, without a big story, but there's all sorts of fun side stuff you can do with, lots of opportunities to go around and fight for justice, but it gets really repetitive. Not having story reasons to sail to different places and explore. All of your sailing around stuff you do is to get enough slaves to freed to push, because even though it's a side thing that they track, the main party main story missions all seem to be unlocked by rescuing a certain number of slaves. They'll occasionally tell you to go to a specific plantation. But otherwise, yeah, the real story of the game is side quests to rescue slaves that the game story actually makes you do. And then there's no story missions that are particularly memorable, other than a couple of moments of frustration, mostly because I wasn't being particularly skilled. I wasn't really patient about trying to find alternate ways to do things. But a couple of the ones, there really isn't. Like, there's not a whole lot of freedom to go different routes in those eavesdrop missions. Like, I'll find a different route where there's not a bunch of guys guarding them. Like, no, you really don't have that opportunity. The original Assassin's Creed, one of the things about it that eventually turned me against the game, it took a while. I really enjoyed it when I was first playing it, because it was one of my first, Xbox 360 games that wasn't an upgrade of something that was already out for Xbox and PS2. Like, the first game I played on Xbox 360 that would not have been supportable on the previous generation hardware in any way, shape, or form was the original Assassin's Creed. And I really got into the art style and some stuff that was happening with it, but it does a weird thing where it gives you a preview where you have all sorts of assassin power, but then something happens and your master takes them away from you for not being, for doing something stupid, I guess. And you have to gradually earn it back. And it's just weird they introduce you to all these things to make you feel all cool and powerful and then take them from you. I guess, one of the most beloved games ever, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, does the same thing, but maybe I can just fast forward a bit. No, not really. I think I just have to skip the whole thing. And yeah, they always do these things with, they're not going in depth with all the different ones, but like the different country localization versions. It's like, I played the English version. Why don't you give me the English credits? These people you're crediting right now literally had nothing to do with my experience. And I guess it's just easier for them to do one version of the credits, but whatever. But these credits are in English, so presumably they don't play after the Chinese version, so what the fuck? I don't know. Anyway. No, but what I was saying about the original Assassin's Creed, one of the things that eventually turned me off to it is there were a few missions where they really didn't give you, like, if you wanted to go this completely sneaky route and almost never kill anybody except your target, there were a few missions where that really just didn't seem possible, at least to me. Or maybe there was something I missed. There were these, I don't want to use a politically incorrect term, but there were these mentally disabled, like, homeless people wandering around in some places, and they would always shove you. And that led to you being caught, which I guess is fair, because if you're trying to blend in and suddenly you're involved in a violent altercation, and for some reason any guard who looks directly at you can immediately tell you're an assassin as long as they actually look directly at you, fine. But they also tended to be positioned near water and would shove you into water, and in the original Assassin's Creed you couldn't swim. That was automatic death. So, I'll say it. Forgive me, oh innocent ones. I know this is not the right term to use, but I always referred to them as like the roving murder retards who would like shove you harmlessly, but in such a way that because you couldn't swim, you get instant death. And that was frustrating in a couple of levels. But the other thing is that once, like in this game, yeah, fighting big groups of people is like impossible, and you just have to get away. In Assassin's Creed, the combat system is a little different. It's a little simpler, and there's really nothing stopping you from just constantly hitting the counter button. Like, even if you're fighting like 6 guys, they attack kind of Black Ninja style. You always are going to be able to counter them and kill them. Like, the worst thing that can happen, and I never really tried it in this version, maybe it would have worked, but the worst thing that can happen is you can get stuck in this loop where it's like a semi-endless loop where you get very few opportunities to attack, but they can never really kill you in melee. It's silly. That, like, the fact that, well, unless you get sloppy in a jumping sequence, you're never actually going to die. You might get game over because you alert a target and then get surrounded by guards who can't possibly stop you, or they can. They can't kill you. But they can stop you from effectively getting to your target, which is kind of what happened here. That stopped being fun after a while. But the setting was interesting in the original Assassin's Creed. The setting is interesting in this game. I think that's the thing that Assassin's Creed as a series has going for it. It's kind of a fun, if you're a little bit of a thoughtful gamer and like, being involved in a historical setting is interesting to you, it's a fun game. And this one in particular is like, getting to be part of the Haitian struggle for freedom. Don't want to get into a whole lot of what happened after this and, you know, how things went for Haiti in the long run. It's not really a first world country today. But, yeah, I mean, if you were back here at this time, it's hard to see how Adewale or anybody fighting with the Maroons, I don't see how you could say they were on the wrong side of history. They were clearly on the right side of history. Even if Haiti didn't end up becoming a, like, you know, it wasn't exactly a free slave paradise after the revolution took place. I mean, kind of hard to set up a free slave paradise if none of the surrounding countries are going to be, you know, willing to trade with you. And anyway, I don't know enough about the history to expand on it, but it was fun. It was a fun game. It was like a little bite-sized version of Assassin's Creed 4. It seems like it would be a really great game if, again, like if it was like Ground Zeroes, you could buy it and it was like cheaper than the whole Assassin's Creed 4 big long adventure. And that's not how it works. So you don't get to do that. Kind of ready for this credits to be over now because I'm kind of done with the series. I need to check what day of the week is this going to upload on, because if I'm lucky, this hit the end of a week exactly. I think rather than replacing this series, I've started uploading Trial of Mana like every weekday. So I'll just, you know, this and Red Dead Redemption wrap at the same time. I'll have a brief period, and you guys will already see this. Well, I don't know why I'm bothered to explain it to you now. For me, it's in the future. I'll have a brief period with 3 uploads a day on certain days because I'm doing a Trial of Mana every weekday regardless of whether there's 2 other videos going up. But then once with this done, that'll normalize. There'll be 2 videos a day. It'll be something and Trial of Mana. And then I'll get some more Grand Theft Auto going on the weekends. It's going to be great. You're going to love it. Fantastic. Couldn't be better. Well, maybe if I didn't have cancer, it'd be better, but, you know. Why fuss about that? Nothing to be done. So, anyway. Yeah, 100% synchronization to get the Dragoon. That is nowhere near an exciting enough reward. That's one of those, like, you've already done everything to be done in the game, and now you're going to give me a weapon that's slightly better than the weapons I used to accomplish everything that could possibly be done in the game. Just, I don't know. That's where I honestly don't have a problem with the old, I guess maybe they're trying to improve it in a way. You remember in the old Final Fantasy games, like, I guess I don't think he was called Omega Weapon, but he basically is what all the Omega weapons since have been based on. The metal, it was from Final Fantasy 5 or 4. I get confused about the ones that didn't originally come to the US, but there was whichever game had X Death, the Evil Tree, had like 2 super bosses, one of whom was a dragon, one of whom was a spider robot. And when you defeated the dragon or the spider robot, you just got an item in your inventory that didn't do anything. It was just, I think it was proof of Omega when you defeat Omega Weapon. And that made sense to me because it's like a bragging rights item. It was like I wanted to do this extra difficult challenge to prove that I'm a badass. So for accomplishing that, I just get like a little item to indicate that I did it. I certainly don't need something to make me more powerful because unless you're having a real problem with the dragon boss and you can beat Omega or vice versa, like I beat the dragon boss, but Omega's still giving me trouble. There's nothing else to do. I don't know what to do. You're on your own. But yeah, this is a game where it's like, okay, you get 100% synchronization on everything, and we'll give you a gun that's maybe slightly better than guns you've already been using throughout the game to get to a point where you've accomplished everything. I'm vamping now. I thought once we got past all the translators in different countries that might mean we were almost done. So how you guys doing? I don't like to skip past the credits. Sometimes I do. I generally don't like to. This is making me miss the old school credits where the ending would be integrated with the credits, so you would actually get to see some, like any of the old RPGs where you would, like, your party would revisit areas you were in earlier in the RPG. Or if you just played the story and didn't backtrack and like grind and get items and whatnot, like places you hadn't seen in a long time. I would always revisit the early towns in an RPG once I got access to some kind of airship equivalent, just to see if there was new content or anything. But if you didn't and you just played straight through the story, it was kind of a neat thing where you're just like revisiting, you're retracing your steps or whatever. Borislav Bogdanov and Natasha Fatal. Outsourcing to Ubisoft Chengdu. Have they done an Assassin's Creed game set in China yet? China's kind of under... It's weird. Like, China and Japan heavily represented in video games in the old days. You know, like the little Kung Fu Brothers or whatever, because Japan was cranking out all the video games, and China is like the Rome of Japan. Like, it was... Rome had all this influence on Europe, which is probably the most direct influence on America in the long term. Whereas China was like the cultural center of everything Asian for centuries. Be interesting to see a Ubisoft game on that. Maybe that already has been. I guess what have they done? I don't follow it closely. I know they did something set in ancient Greece, Odyssey or whatever. I think did they do a Norse one? I don't know. Be interesting to see a game set during like the Opium Wars or something, because they could bring in a lot of the art stuff they've already done with the Western colonial powers. Do like a freaking Assassin's Creed game set during the Boxer Rebellion. That would be interesting. I'm not asking for Ubisoft to come in and like do the Sengoku Jidai. I got plenty of Sengoku Jidai games, obviously. But things happened in China other than the Three Kingdoms period. How much more yapping are we going to do here? Assassin's Creed brand. Really? So, I don't know. Somebody tell me, and is Ubisoft French? I think they're French. But it's cool that French are jumping in and doing some video games. France is... I admire France in a lot of ways. They are like the I know it sounds incredibly arrogant, but living in a country with 250 plus million people, France is like this scrappy little country in a sense. When you live in America, that they refuse to give up and let America just take over all Western culture. They're like, no, we're putting out video games. We're not going to lean on like the centuries of French culture and artwork. We dominated culture for centuries. We were the court language of Europe, but we're going to make fucking video games, damn it. And Americans are going to play them and enjoy them because they're going to be relatable to an American sensibility, but different. They're going to be something that wouldn't have come out of America. I respect that. France got a lot of other problems. Considering some of the things that have gone down in France, I only have so much patience when a French person starts talking about how all Americans are racist, but it's like they're not wrong about racism being in America, but I don't know, there's a uniquely French way to point this out to you while behind you is a woman being berated for wearing a burqa. But anyway, I don't know why I'm suddenly deciding, hey, let's throw in some controversy here, see if I can piss some people off. But no, I guess that I don't know if I'm overthinking it, but that is one of the things that potentially makes a game like Assassin's Creed interesting. It's got a different sensibility. It's not America-centric. They've got some games that are set in the Americas, but they're not just going to make every game be, it's like the default. It's like Hollywood movies. They're always set in either New York or Hollywood or Los Angeles. Well, there's a lot of movies set in Hollywood, actually, but those are about Hollywood. They always do great during award season. Go figure. People whose lives is film like seeing films about film. Mouse Powder GmbH. So apparently we're still in the fucking international... I thought we got through the international stuff. How did we then come back to like Assassin's Creed branding officers and shit, and now we're back to foreign... I guess they didn't do the voice actors before? Maybe these credits are in alphabetical order in some other language. But again, these are literally people whose performances, I'm sure their performances were fantastic. I'm sure, and now we just got this where we don't have the voice actors again. I don't know what triggers you to be important enough to have your voice actors credited. Now I'm afraid we're going to get Russians and Finnish and Norwegian voice actors randomly later. Polish version by Gamekeeper? I think this is just continuing on forever. I feel like, okay, I'm giving up now because I think we've already seen, I think we're on to credits that we've already actually literally seen. What says hold to cinematic? Did I miss some kind of endgame cinematic? Maybe I missed an endgame cinematic. Well, I'll leave it to you guys if you want to go look for a cinematic on the YouTubes that I somehow missed here. But thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming. The LP is over. Not everyone's going to get paid tonight. You'll have to check the sheet. Sell the house, sell the car, sell the kids. I'm not coming back. Astronaut Frank Douglas was rescued alive, well, and of normal size, some 10,000 miles away in a lifeboat. Yeah, anyway. Monster Go-Go, folks. Yeah, so I guess this LP just ended because I thought I was seeing stuff recycled. Like, I literally thought we'd already seen the Polish language version production team credited, and it was just cycling around. But maybe I missed an ending. I'll take a second to look it up for myself, but I am not going to bother to record it and tack it on to the end of this. So if you think I might have missed something, go ahead and look for yourself. I believe that we said goodbye to the leader of the male Maroon leader guy before embarking on the mission. We had a little goodbye with a female Maroon leader person at the end of the mission. They were really the only two characters, other than Adewale. None of the villains were really characters. I guess I could go into a whole aside about how the game could have used more characters, but I already vamped my way like crazy through those credits, and I'm kind of done. So I'm not sorry I played this, but I am glad it's over, sort of, kind of, if that makes sense. Tune in next time for something, but Trials of Mana, pretty much. Catch you guys next time.